Hey everyone, I just wanted to jump on here and talk about my updated thoughts and opinions on our history curriculum. We're using History Quest, and I use this for my first grader. I had mentioned this curriculum when we first started our homeschool for this year, and I have a little bit of a changed opinion on this than I first did. So I wanted to make a video on that because obviously when I first talked about it, I was really excited because of just the flip through that I had made. It just looked really good, but also I had in another video, we had only done like a couple lessons or maybe even just one lesson, and I just that was my only experience with this curriculum. And so yeah, we've gone through quite a few lessons now, and yeah, things have changed a little bit. So I just wanted to update because I just want to be as helpful as possible for those who maybe have an interest in this, and not that my opinion is going to fit everyone else's or that everyone else is going to agree, but I just wanted to let you know still like how things are going for us, so that way others can get an idea of how it goes. So let me go into what my first opinion was, which was amazing. I had such great expectations of how this was going to go. I really love the setup. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Unit 1, Lesson 1, just to kind of give the idea of how these lessons go. First of all, I really love how it's organized. So it's really easy to just kind of look over what you're gonna do throughout the week, what you're gonna need, and even like the schedule here, which we only do this, well, I'm gonna get into that, but this is gonna sound crazy, but we've only been using this like once a week, every lesson. And I'm gonna explain why. I had to take away a lot of the things that they offer in this. So yeah, I'll get into why. But then they have these terms that I love this because it's kind of like they tell you the main points, what to get out of for the week. So I like how they just kind of list that out there. And then this is when they get into, detailing what you can do every day. And so of course I pull out, from each of these days what we want to do. So here's some of my opinions now, my changed opinions. One of the things I wanted to mention was, so far, from all the lessons we've done so far, we're on lesson 12, or Unit 12. So far, I have not done not one of the activities. So every week they'll have an activity. Like for example, this week was they're trying to do like a cave painting type of thing. And then sometimes they'll have recipes that you can do. Like here, they're making bread. Sometimes it's another craft type of thing. Like this one is you get this clay and then you can write cuneiform alphabet. You can do that and write that in there. This craft here, they use a shoebox or whatever box you want to use, and then some other construction paper type thing to make a ziggurat. So, they're pretty creative, and I like the ideas of even like the recipes. It's just that I just have yet to come across a lesson where I feel like the activity will enhance the lesson. And also what helps is, of course, if an activity is really simple and really easy to do and you don't need a lot of materials, of course, it makes it that much easier to actually do the activity. And I just don't feel like they're quite that simple enough for me, because it's not worth the work and the time that we had to put into it. If my son was like more interested, like if he was really interested in what he's reading, that's another thing. My son, he has that kind of interest in other subjects like science. I think science is like his favorite subject right now, and he loves the projects. He has questions and he wants to Google it, and he'll look up in the encyclopedias that we have. So there's that distinction comparing science and history. So again, that was my first opinion that has changed, is on the activities. We just don't do them, at least not yet. I have not had an activity that has enticed me to want to do that activity. So Another thing now, here's another changed opinion, and this one's big. So in the first lesson that we ever did, they had us read the first chapter, right, of this book. And in one of my videos, I mentioned I was so excited. I loved the way the writing was. I thought the writing was really good. And I was like, oh, if they write like this for the rest of this book, they're really gonna make history so interesting and it's just gonna be so engaging. But that was just for that first chapter, because now this is my change of opinion. I think the writing, the stuff they talk about is very much on like the wars that took place, the rulers, and maybe that's just all history books. I'm not sure. I can't really even remember. Like when I was a student, I was not a good student. I don't remember a lot of history. I don't remember how that was. Once in a while, they'll say some interesting stuff about the rest of the civilization, like the people of that time and what was invented around that time or how their life was. I like reading about that, but some of the chapters is like completely all about the wars that took place and the rulers, and I don't know, it's just kind of, sometimes it is a little boring and sometimes it's just not something that I want to delve into. Oh, and then another thing, it's a lot, guys. I'm gonna go to like chapter 2, for example. I'm just gonna flip through, and look how wordy it is. I'm gonna flip through, there's no picture, hardly any pictures. This is all that you're supposed to read throughout the week, and you might think, oh yeah, just break it up a little bit here and there. But just the stuff they talk about, it's kind of boring. Oh, and that's another thing, is it's a chapter, and then they always have the history hop as well. So this is included in that, in the week. See? And here's another chapter, you know, it's just... And then here's the history hop. It's just a lot of reading. So this is what I've been doing lately. I actually will like skim through it a little bit and I will not read everything. That's kind of how I've been tailoring it, but it's a lot. And I think the thing is, it's a lot for a first grader. If you are using this curriculum for like a 5th grader, I think that would make the total difference. Like they would be able to really sit and listen to all of it. There is one lesson that I read the whole entire chapter and he sat and listened to it because he was sick and he was like, did not have energy to get up and run, run away. That sounds bad, but no, I wasn't trying to torture him or anything. He was listening. He wasn't, you know, I wasn't forcing him. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. Like he was more willing to listen to the story when he was sick. So anyways, for a 1st grader and a boy, it's hard to just read all of this. Something that I do like about this is I like the pages in the back. And sometimes I do have him color, which he's not really big on coloring, but I'll have him color these pages. But they have maps sometimes that he can fill out, which I love. And they have little activities that are more like, they're not crafty, they're just coloring in stuff. So I'm gonna show that. So this is what I'm gonna show next, is how we kind of use this. Is we use the history notebook from School Nest. What we do is, in every lesson, I'm gonna show the system that we have so far. We will do this only once a day because this is all we do. I will read a little bit of this book. Again, not the whole chapter. I'll kind of skim through it and just read what I think is kind of stands out and what he'll find interesting. I'll read a little bit of this book. So he'll just sit there and listen for a little bit. Then after that, we will do a copy work. So usually they have 2 different sentences that they can copy. One is more for like the younger kids, and this is for like older kids that can write more. Of course, obviously, we just do this one. So I'm going to show all this in the School Nest notebook, but I'm just kind of going through it through here. So he'll do a copy work sentence, and then after that, he'll either color in one of these. They have 1 per lesson. Or he'll do like either a map, or he'll do one of these, like in the back, they'll have something that he can color in. So now I'm gonna show what that looks like in the School Nest notebook. So here's one of the first lessons that we've done. Here's the map, here's the copy work. Here's an activity page, which I just went ahead and drew the alphabet, and then he had to decode it. And then I asked a question and he answered it. But after that, we just kept it at doing the copy work. Here's a cartouche. I don't know how to pronounce that, cartouche template that he colored and filled in. And then he did copy work here. So again, these are just an idea of what a week will look like. He filled in this map, he colored in this pot, and then he wrote a copywork sentence, colored in these glyphs, and then did a copywork sentence. So again, it's just, for us, we've been able to just complete all of these in one day. Read a little bit, copywork sentence, and sometimes if we can't complete it in one day, then of course, you know, we'll do one sentence, and then we'll do this in 2 days. So it'll be the reading and copywork, and then the other day he'll just do like the little activity sheet. Okay guys, I hope that wasn't too chatty. I felt like my brain was just kind of all over the place, but I guess to kind of summarize everything, it's just that we are not really utilizing everything that they have here. But I am looking forward to, in the future, there's also books that they recommend. So sometimes you'll see in the enrichment reading, they'll list like a book that you can read along with the lesson, just for like extra, see, resources. Here's some. So like this book I actually bought. There's some books in here that they recommended that we actually do have. And I look forward to using those alongside the lessons, just so that it can be that much more interesting to read those stories from that time period. And then lastly, along with the lessons, there's a Bible story book for children that we have that kind of coincides with the lessons. There's lots of things that happened within Egypt and Babylon, Assyria, Persia. We've read all these, and then after the lessons, I'll read my son a story from the children's Bible stories book, and that's been really nice. That's really helped him to kind of see, like, after we read the lesson and he kind of gets familiar with that area, I feel like that connects the things that we then will read in the book of Bible stories. So as you can see, especially because he's just in first grade, I really just want to keep things really simple and at his level. So I think if the student is older, like I said, like 5th grade or something, you can definitely do more. But with his attention span and everything, I actually think he's doing great. That's pretty much it. If anybody else uses this, or if anybody is interested in this and has any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer those questions. Does this seem like a curriculum that is really interesting, really good for your student? Or what are your thoughts? Does this seem like too much, too little? Again, like, this is our first history curriculum ever, so you know, this is all I know. I haven't used any others. But yeah, I think so far overall, I still really like it, and it's working really good for us. So I think I've tailored it pretty much well to fit our family, and I look forward to continue using it. I really still do like it. Just my expectation was that we were going to use everything in here, and that we were gonna really enjoy all these chapters, and I was gonna read everything in these chapters, but other than that, it's still really good. I enjoy it. And I think they've done a really good job with just putting everything together for us very well, and giving us a lot of good ideas for, especially like the activity sheets in the back of this book, and giving us a lot of resource material to, you know, look up. And yeah, it's really good. And this has really helped a lot too, having this notebook, because it just keeps everything together. So all right, well, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.